T-minus 10, 9.
Hey there everyone, today we have one of my friend Vaishnavi Shastri here who has banked the internship at ISRO. We are proud and glad to have here Vaishnavi today.
Hey, hi Sanket. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
So today let us chat with her and ask her some questions. So my first question to you is Vaishnavi, how did you go about applying for the internship at ISRO?
So the major requirement for taking up an internship at ISRO is your application needs to be endorsed by your college, either by your HOD or TNP head. In my case, it was my HOD. So the process is like first you need to drop a mail to the center you wish to do the internship at. Then they'll reply back with the application forms and the list of documents you need to submit, which contains your class 10th and 12th mark sheets, then your engineering mark sheets up till the last semester. Suppose I applied for the internship in 7th semester, so I must produce mark sheets up to 6th semester, and they also ask for a letter of recommendation from college. Then we need to mail them all these documents, and once it is done, our applications are screened by their screening committee. Then, if you are selected, you will get a mail, and college will get a mail, and college will inform you. If you aren't selected, you won't get any mail. So basically, they don't send any rejection mails as such. Also, one more constraint they have is only 2 students strictly will be selected from an institute, and no direct communication. It is strictly written that if a student tries to communicate directly, or if a student drops the mail, his or her application or candidature won't be considered and it will be discarded. So only your college can communicate.
Okay, thank you Vaishnavi. Can you tell us about some of the most exciting experience you have had as an intern at ISRO and what it's like to an intern at government organization?
So, most exciting experience I had as an intern was meeting Honorable Chairman S. Somnath sir and Directors CBPO ISRO headquarters Dr. Sudhir Kumar N sir. I really felt privileged to witness such distinguished personalities in person, and I'm really grateful for their invaluable insights and guidance on whatever work we are doing. And interning at government organization as far as ISRO is concerned, so there is good and relaxed working atmosphere. You will have exposure to research, and at the end, your goal is to actually publish a paper under ISRO. So
Okay,
it's a research-oriented environment.
okay. My next question to you is can you share any tips for the students on how to make their application stand out?
ISRO really checks your academic background, and they require you to be technically very clear with your basics of your branch. Now, suppose for CSE, you need to have your basics for core subjects like OS, DBMS, CN, etc. very clear. Then keep the portfolio of your projects or certifications such that it should reflect how well do you know different technologies.
Okay. So what was the selection process like for the internship at ISRO? Were there any specific qualifications or the experience they were looking for?
So they had certain criteria for selection, mentioning that you need to have at least 70% in your graduation till the completed semester, and applicant should be from science background. Now I don't really know on what basis does the screening committee screens the application, but yes, academics is surely one of the measures. And as I already mentioned earlier, that applications directly received from student wouldn't be considered. That's all.
Okay, Vaishnavi. My next question to you is what are the different pathways through which we can get the ISRO as full-time role or as scientist?
Okay, so after your graduation, that is your BTech degree, you can give an exam called ICRB, ISRO Centralized Recruitment Board exam. So ISRO conducts it once in a year, and the applications open around April-May, subject to change. And you can appear for that exam. Syllabus is same as GATE. They check your aptitude as well as technical skills, and then if you crack the written exam, then they will call you for interview, and if you clear the interview, you can join ISRO as a scientist SC. The post is scientist SC. And one more path is you can give GATE, score good marks, get into good IITs, and or you can get into IIST, which is ISRO's own college, Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, which is in Trivandrum. So you can get into that college and pursue MTech, and then you can take a job at ISRO as scientists.
Okay, okay, Vaishnavi. In your experience, what qualities or the skills do you think ISRO looks for when hiring full-time employees?
So I'm still an intern, and as of now, not really a right person to answer this question, as I am not a full-time employee. But when I spoke with scientists here, they tell one thing, that you need to be technically sound and your basics need to be very clear again. So they focus a lot on fundamentals.
Okay, Vaishnavi. What advice would you give to the college students who are interested in pursuing the internships or career at ISRO?
Again, I would tell that keep your academic background strong, because at the end of the day, you'll be screened based on your academic performance. You're providing them your mark sheets, and based on which screening happens. So keep your academic background very strong.
Okay. Could you provide the insights into ISRO's collaborations with the international space agencies and the highlights any integrating joint projects or the initiatives? And are there any upcoming ISRO missions or projects on the horizon that have potential to redefine the understanding of space exploration or technology advancements?
Yes, ISRO works with other countries' space agencies and organizations to make India's space program stronger. This collaboration helps improve our space capabilities, build better relationship with other nations, and create worldwide rules for space activities. So one such project is NISAR, that is NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar mission. They are building a satellite with a radar that can see different frequencies. So this satellite is first of its kind and will help us see the changes on Earth's surface better. Then ISRO and JAXA, that is Japan Space Agency, are teaming up for Chandrayaan 4, which is all about exploring the moon's polar regions. It is said that ISRO will handle launching the mission and lander part, while JAXA will take care of the rover. The launch is planned for 2025, and the mission should last at least 3 months. They are focusing on the moon's south pole because they think there might be water there. So ISRO is also working on RLV, that is reusable launch vehicle, and there are upcoming missions like Gaganyaan and Shukrayaan, which will redefine our understanding of space exploration.
Okay, Vaishnavi, it seems like fascinating. Also, are there any lesser known facts or the stories about ISRO's history or the achievements that you think could captivate and surprise our listeners?
Yes, good question. Actually, people have this misconception in their minds that ISRO, being Indian Space Research Organization, only works in field of astronomy. But no, it's just a department which ISRO works in.
Okay.
ISRO plays a huge role in the development of country through agricultural, communication, and defense sector projects too. So apart from astronomy, it also works in areas like broadcasting, weather forecasting, disaster management, geographic information system, then navigation, cartography, and many more. So there are around 21 centers and units under Department of Space which carry out different works. So for instance, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, that is VSSC, it is responsible for building launch vehicles. Then there is URSC, UR Rao Satellite Center. It is responsible for satellite design and development. Then Satish Dhawan Space Center, SDSC, which is responsible for launching vehicles. So it is where there are launch pads. Then there is SAC in Ahmedabad Space Application Center. It is responsible for development of space application. Then there is NRSC, National Remote Sensing Center. So it is responsible for remote sensing satellite data acquisition and processing. So basically, image processing is done, satellite data processing is done, and it is analyzed. So basically, study of entire Earth is done in this center. Then there is ISRO Telemetry Tracking and Command Network, that is ISTRAC. Then it provides mission support for satellite launch vehicle mission. There is Human Space Flight Center, which is implementing the Gaganyaan project. And then there is PRL, Physics Research Laboratory, which is engaged in basic research in the areas of astronomy and astrophysics. So these are just the few which I named, and there are around 21 to 25 centers, including regional centers. So I actually wanted to make it clear because people should know. And thank you for this platform. Like seriously, people keep on asking me, "हो गया rocket बना के, हो गया satellite launch करके," and I'm like, बस rocket बनाना and launch करना नहीं होता है. There are post-launch activities too. to analyze the data, and those satellites are sending, and there are different centers working on that. So it's not just about astronomy. That's a myth.
So finally, looking to the future, what do you envision as the next big milestone or the breakthrough for the ISRO, and how do you see the organization shaping the future of space exploration?
ISRO has announced an initiative to achieve debris-free space missions by 2030. So it is DFSM. In my opinion, this will really be a big milestone. ISRO wants to make sure that all space missions from India, whether government or private, don't leave any junk behind. They are going to be super careful in how they design and run missions to avoid making any mess. This includes preventing crashes and disposing of old satellites properly. We'll start doing this in 2025, and ISRO hopes that other countries will join in too. This plan shows that they are serious about keeping space clean and safe, because space debris is really a alarming and serious issue.
Yeah. If you're watching this video till the end, don't forget to hit the like button. Please share this video with your friends. Also to subscribe our channel. If you want to land the job at Atlas Copco, check out our video that have valuable insights. Until next time, bye bye.